And welcome back to the channel. This would be what if the demon that was inside of Asta. Basically, what if Naruto had Asta's demon? And I think it's Lee Day or Lee Bay. I think so. Lee Day. I think that's what his name is. Lee Day. Yeah, I think it's Lee Day. Um. First off, I would like to point out the fact that Naruto has Lee Day, the demon's forms. He has two, or three technically, including the rage one that he has. But he has three forms. The first one I'm making up. The second one is canon. The third one is canon. The first one is the one that Naruto entered in the beginning, like in the first part. He just didn't have the wing. That was it. When he has the wing just signifies that he's amplified his strength and stuff using the demon's abilities. And the demon's able to project itself more. Anyway, so I'll last up this part off with Naruto stating, not Naruto, Kurama stating that this should be interesting. And the demon Lide asks, Lide asks, Naruto, what is he planning on doing? And Naruto's like, for now, we could just train and keep our opinions to ourselves and just don't worry about anyone else. And Kurama chimes in and was like, well, yeah, well, what about that girl? And Naruto was like, who are you referring to? That girl. I don't remember. You're gonna have to let me know. And Lee Day was like, oh, come on, don't act like you don't remember. Your heart started beating quicker. You know exactly who we're talking about. Well, who he's talking about. And Naruto remembers. Oh yeah, that's right. Hinata, if I'm not mistaken. Um, we'll deal with that role when we come across it. But for now, I guess we can train a lot. So over the course, like, okay, so for the rest of that day, Naruto trained with the sword, doing push. Basically, he was pulling an Asta, the 100 push-ups and sit-ups, shit like that. Yeah, he was pulling a Asta and Saitama, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. Um, yeah, and Kurama tells Naruto that he is an Uzumaki, so he has chakra. It's just the demon zapping it all away or taking it all away. And Naruto asks if demons is true. And he was like, well, yeah, kinda. And so yes, I am retconning a part of the story from last part. Shut the fuck up, leave me alone. Um, so um, Naruto asks him like, will he at least leave enough for him to be able to like wall ride, like wall jump and shit like that? And the demon Lide tells him, you have way more than enough for me to zap some away each and every day. Because it's not doing anything but replenishing because the Nine Tails you have a healing factor due to the Nine Tails. So either way it goes, your chakra is not going anywhere. You just don't know how to use it. And Naruto was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And it gets dark, and on the way back to Naruto's house, Naruto feels like he's being watched. And the Nine Tails is like, you're not entirely off. I think there is someone following you. And Naruto turns around and sees that no one's there. And he continues walking, and then he hits a corner, and the person that was following him hits the corner too, and they lose him, and they're looking around, and Naruto jumps down behind them with the sword in his hand, asking what was the purpose of you following me? And when Naruto gets a good look at their face, it's one of his classmates. I'm gonna say it was Ino. And Naruto's like, oh, it's you. And he lets go of the sword and it vanishes. And She was like, "Geez, what was all that about? I was just trying to find out how you injured, not how you injured Sasuke, or made Sasuke mad." And it was like, "Cause from what I hear, you're a monster." And Naruto was like, "Isn't that what everyone calls me anyway? I don't understand the point." And it was like, "No, cause from what Sakura says, you weren't even using the Nine Tails power." And Lee Day tells Naruto like, maybe we shouldn't just use my abilities outright like that all the time. And Naruto agrees with him. So after Naruto and Lida finished talking, Ino was like, "Are you ignoring me?" And then she's like, "Oh yeah." And Hinata told me to tell you that she was waiting for you at your house. And Naruto was like, "How does she know where I live? Better yet, why is she waiting for me?" And Ino was like, "You're thinking out loud." And I don't know. She said she was waiting on you for something. And isn't that sword like three times the size as you? So how are you just holding it? And how are you so fast if you don't have chakra? And Naruto looks at her and was like, "You're asking way too many questions." And he starts walking away. Like, she starts shouting, "Hey, I was talking to you." And Naruto was like, "Sorry, stranger danger." And Ino walks up to him and she grabs him on the shoulder. Naruto turns around and looks at her and was like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I was talking to you." And Naruto was like, Naruto, hold on. And Ino was like, "I was talking to you. So can we finish talking? I never got to tell you the reasoning behind why I came here. For real, for real." Naruto stops and looks at her and was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "Clearly you're strong enough to defeat Sasuke. So maybe you're stronger. Maybe you can be my friend and we can get stronger together." And Naruto was like, "This is also coming from the same person that berated me in class not too long ago, claiming that I had no chakra." Which, newsflash, I do. But, I guess. For now, at least. So Naruto was like, "You can come with since we're friends." So Naruto and Ino starts walking to Naruto's house. And although it is dark, it's starting to get dark. It's not dark outside altogether. So people are still out and about and they see Ino hanging out with Naruto. And a lot of people, like from Naruto's class, students in general, are wondering, why is she hanging out with him? Is it like, did she get dared to, or is like, does he have dirt on her or something, or is he had her underneath a genjutsu? So when they get to Naruto's house, Naruto walks in his house and he's looking for Hinata, and Hinata's nowhere to be found. But he sees a note, and the note says that it was written by Hinata. The note was basically saying that she wants to talk to him alone, but since she sensed coming with him, she kind of bailed out. So Ino asks what the note says, and he's like, "Nothing. You can stay here if you want. I'll be leaving for a little while." And she's like, "So you're just leaving your house?" And Naruto's like, "Yeah, I am." And she's like, "You're okay with me staying in your house while you're gone?" And Naruto's like, "Yeah, I don't see the problem. Just don't do anything stupid and don't touch my shit or I'll kill you." And he closes the door and he goes to the place where he Nata told them to meet. And when he gets there, Hinata's waiting there. And when he gets there, he asks Hinata, "Is there something wrong? Does she need help with anything?" And Hinata at first doesn't answer him. She just sits. She just stands there for a little while. Well, yeah, she's standing there. Naruto's like, "Fine, we can stand here, or there's a bench so we can sit." So Hinata sits down, and Naruto sits down. And for like 5 minutes, well, for like 5 minutes, they're just sitting down, saying nothing. And now people are really starting to question it because Naruto was just talking to Io, and now he's talking to Hinata. So Hinata finally says something, and she asks Naruto, "So how did you do it?" And Naruto looks at her and was like, "How did I do what?" And she was like, "Beat Sasuke twice, I think." No, I don't think I did it twice. Did I do it twice? I don't know. I can't remember. Um, no. Disregard that last part. How'd you beat Sasuke earlier? And Naruto was like, "Well, it was easy. He relies too much on the Sharingan." And she was like, "No, because we felt what happened, kind of." And I'm gonna say in this one, in this version, like in this what if, Hinata's very chakra sensitive. So Naruto's form that he took, although it is anti-chakra, meaning that they technically shouldn't be able to sense it, Hinata, since she's like in this, what if she's chakra sensitive, she can sense things like this. So she asks him again, and she's like, "So how did you do it?" And Naruto was like, "We need to go somewhere private, more private than what we already are." So Hinata gets up and she starts taking him back to the Hyuga compound, and she goes like they go up to like a small like little shed out and like further back into the Hyuga compound, and but it's a big shed, so they're not like right next to each other. And Naruto was like, "Fine, here we go." And he uses the form, and Hinata was like, "Wow, like what is this?" And Naruto was like, "It's just one of my abilities." And she activates her Byakugan. She can use her Byakugan, but it's not as like she can't use it for very long periods of time because she's still a little kid. So she activates her Byakugan, and she sees that not only is the nine tails inside of him, but there's something else eating away at the seal inside of him. So she like tells Naruto that there's something else inside of you, but it's eating away at the seal, and you do have chakra. You just can't use it. And Naruto's like, "Oh yeah, I already know these things." And she was like, "Well, why aren't you, freaking out? There's something else inside of you that's supplying you with this power. You're not scared?" And Naruto looks at her with a serious face and he's like, "I have a plan, but I need this power. I need both the Nine Tails and his power to complete it. So I just don't want you to get in my way at any point in time." And she's like, Hinata's like, "What do you mean, get in your way? What are you planning on doing?" And Naruto's like, "I can't relay that I can't tell you that information, but I can tell you for one thing that I may or may not be I may or may not get myself in a lot of trouble in the future. You just can't get in my way or bad things are going to happen, and I don't want that to happen because you're the first person that's not afraid of me, if you know what I'm saying. Like if you know what I'm getting at." And she shakes her head and she grabs Naruto by the hand, and Naruto looks down and she's like got his pinky, like she pinky promises if she gets in his way, it's only to protect him and everyone around him. and not just to protect, well, it's to protect him and his friends, and no one else but him and his friends. So yeah, so then like after a couple of seconds, like after that, um, Hyuga opens up the shed and sees that Naruto's in there, and Naruto before the shed gets fully open, he he deactivates the form, and the Hyuga gets mad, and he's like, "What are you doing in here with Lady Hinata?" And Naruto basically was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Like not I don't know what you're talking about. He's basically like, "Mind your own damn business." And Hinata she's like, "No, there's no need for this. I brought him in here. He was helping me get something." And the Hyuga was like, "Well, if you needed something, you could have just said so, and I could have got it for you. I was here. I was headed back here anyway, and I saw you walk past here earlier. I just didn't know you were going to bring him in here to help you. After all, we don't know what he would have done if I wouldn't have come along." And Naruto's like, "Oh yeah, God forbid I do something to Lady Hinata." He's like, "Anyway, I'm leaving." And Naruto walks out the closet area. And when he gets back to his house, Ino has completely Ino's fell asleep, but she invited Tenten over. And Tenten doesn't know whose house this is. Well, she knows Naruto, like she knows it's Naruto's house, but she didn't know that she thought basically like broke into it almost. So yeah. So when Naruto opens up the door, he sees Tenten on the couch and Ino's laid out across the couch asleep. Cause now at this time it's actually dark outside. So Tenten wakes up Ino and was like, "Oh, Naruto's back. We have to leave now." And Ino gets up and was like, "Oh, Naruto's back. Hey." And she goes back to sleep. And Tenten was like, "What are you doing? Like he's going to try to kill us or something." And Naruto was like, "The fact that you think I would try to kill one of my own friends is astonishing." And Ino sighs and gets up. She's like, "Cause I'm clearly not gonna get any sleep. Yes, me and Naruto are friends. Yes, I invited you over here. Yes, I know he's a monster, whatever. I don't really care. But he's strong, and that's all that matters. Because he can protect the Leaf Village." And Naruto, was like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm training to become a Leaf Shinobi." And Lide was like, "Maybe you taking over the world with the way you said it, maybe you should put those plans off for a little while." And the Nine Tails is like, "Yeah, maybe you should, just for a little bit. See how everything pans out with this whole Leaf Shinobi thing." And Naruto's like, "You know what? Maybe you guys are right. Just for a little while at least." And before Naruto gets out of his head, he asks Kurama if when that seal gets fully weakened, is he gonna break out? And if so, what is he gonna do? And the Nine Tails is like, I'm it depends on the circumstances. I've seen that you've had some form of development, some form of maturity to tolerate beings as such as me. So maybe, just maybe, I'll stay in here. But we'll see as time goes on. And Naruto was like, "Oh well, yeah, this is about as best I'm getting at you." And Naruto looks at Lide and was like, "You can leave anytime you want. Why don't you?" And Lide was like, "Oh, this is just too fun. I have a friend in here." And he looks up at the Ninetales, and the Ninetales kind of just scoffs at him. And Lide was like, "Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. I forgot. Because you're big." So Lide turns into the little weird misty version of himself. He gets really large. So Naruto basically, after a couple of minutes, Ino, Ino's like, oh, he's doing that thing again where he just stares off into space. And Tenten was like, yeah, he's weird, alright. How did you guys become friends anyway? And Ino was like, I just asked him. You should ask him. And Tenten looks over there, and Naruto's like, what? What happened? And she was like, Naruto, I have a question. And as she's about to ask Naruto the question, like she's gonna ask Naruto, can they be friends? But she's taking forever because she doesn't want to be friends with Naruto, but she feels like she's getting put on the spot. So she's basically going to try to force their friendship. So as she asks him this, like as she's trying to say it, Naruto stops her and was like, "Clearly, you don't want to be friends with me. I'm not going to force you to be. But since we're not friends, you may leave my house now. I'm not saying you can't stop by and visit when Ino's around because you're clearly friends with her. I'm just saying, you just can't be in my house. I have no patience for people that aren't my friends." And um, after like she just realized that she got shot down in the worst way, so she leaves the house. Not fuck, Tenten. After she realizes that she got shot down in the worst way, she leaves the house. And Ino's like, "Well, that was a little harsh, don't you think?" And Naruto looks at her and was like, "Don't you have your own home? Why are you still here? I thought you would have left." And she was like, "Yeah, and miss out on the fact that you could have brought Hinata back here." Nah. And Naruto was like, "We're still children. We're like 12. What did you expect us to? You know what? I'm gonna just go to sleep." Come the next morning, Naruto, not Tenten, wakes up Naruto and tells Naruto that the they're joining Kakashi's outside. And Naruto gets up and he walks outside and he sees Kakashi and he sees Sasuke and Sakura. And Naruto looks over there at them and Sakura looks away and Sasuke like looks is like looking Sasuke is looking at him like very intently. So um Naruto looks at him and was like, "What's the point?" And Sasuke was like, "Last time was a fluke. I can beat you now." And Naruto looks at him and was like, "You think one day of you training is gonna be able to defeat me? You're hilarious." Anyway, yeah, well, let's go. So Kakashi tells them it's gonna be a training exercise of teamwork, like not teamwork, but the bell um thing. And over the course of yesterday, like in the what if, over the course of yesterday, not Hinata, fuck, Sakura and Sasuke has had a lot of time together. So their teamwork, like they already know how to use teamwork and stuff. Because secret, like Sakura basically used Sasuke's hatred for Naruto as a means to quote unquote train with Sasuke. So yeah, and when like they begin to fuck, they get to the training ground and Sasuke, well, fuck. Kakashi gets to telling them about the exam and how it's gonna happen, and there's only two bells, so two of you are gonna end up failing. And I mean, there's only two bells, so one of you are gonna end up failing. And Naruto's like, clearly that won't be me. And when they say start, Naruto runs over there, like he he gets in like a fighting stance. And he summons a sword, and Sakura and Sasuke both jump back into like the bushes areas, and Naruto's like, "Oh, I should probably do that too," and he dips off. And Sakura and Sasuke have already had a plan. Sakura's going to throw some kunai. Sasuke, we're going to try to put fire release on the kunai, And then Sakura was going to try to come from behind and lay some string down. And basically, they were basically going to try to overwhelm him to get the bells. And since Naruto doesn't mess with anybody on the team, he's like letting them do what they want. So they successfully do it, but right before they can get the bells, he poofs, and he was like, "Where's Naruto?" Like in his head, so Kakashi was like, "Where's Naruto at?" Clearly, that would have been the perfect time to tell them that they passed, but apparently only two of them did that. So that means the other one is still out there somewhere. Also, his power, whatever that is, isn't natural. It's not normal. So we have to watch out for that. That sword also isn't. My fault if I keep blowing into the mic almost. So, um, like half like as he's thinking this, Naruto appears, like not appears, but like he runs up over there and he tries to swing at Kakashi. And Kakashi poofs and like goes behind him, and Naruto looks behind him, and Kakashi's like, "Man, you're a lot slower than I thought. You know, you carrying around that heavy sword. I would have thought you were I would have thought you would have. Fuck. I would have thought you would have been faster. Shit, why is it so hard for me to talk? Um. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna just knock you out now." And he incapacitates Naruto. And Itachi, not. Oh my God, Sasuke and Sakura finds Naruto incapacitated, and instead of helping him out, they proceed to kick him, like hurt Naruto as he's like incapacitated. And um Kurama informs Naruto of this. And Lee was like, "So what do you want to do?" And Naruto was like, "For right now, I'm just gonna wake up." And Naruto, using the Nine Tails, he forces himself awake, and Sakura stops and Sasuke stops, and Naruto's like, "So, when your teammate was incapacitated and knocked out, you proceeded to kick me instead of trying to find out if I was okay. You know what? I'm done." And he just starts walking away. And Kakashi was like, um, "Hello?" And later that day, come to find out, Naruto just stopped trying to become a ninja altogether. Like he told Hiruzen that he doesn't want to become a ninja. And Hiruzen was like, "Well, Naruto, you're so capable. Like you have the Nine Tails in you, and you seem like a capable person, especially with that weird sword you can summon. So why wouldn't you want to become a ninja?" Naruto was like, "If I'm going to become a ninja, I'm not having a team. They're unreliable." And Hiruzen was like, "Well, you're gonna have to, and your team is Team Seven, so try it again next time and see what happens." And Naruto's like, "Fine," and he leaves like the Hokage's office. And the next day, Naruto goes back, and they try it again, but this time instead of Naruto being incapacitated, Naruto waits until they have a plan, and Naruto chimes in and was like, "Well, since my sword can kind of drain chakra, it'd be better if I can get a hit on him. If I can get a hit on him, because that will slow his movement down and drain his chakra, which means there will be a 50-50 chance that he'll be able to make a substitution jutsu." And then they were like, Sakura was like, "That's actually a good idea." And Sakura whispers to Sasuke saying that we can just use him and just take the bells for ourselves. And it was Sasuke smiles like, yeah, that's a nice idea. So they begin the plan, and it's different this time. Instead of like throwing kunai with fire release, there were kunai with strings attached to them, and then there was a fireball thrown behind him. So he would be like his first immediate reaction would be to block the kunai that had the sword, like that had the string on them, and then try to substitute out of the fireball, which is what he does. But when he substitutes out, Naruto's sitting there and he hits him with the sword. And when Kakashi's getting flung back, they both grab the bells. And Naruto's like, "Yeah, we did it, like a team." And Naruto's like, "Oh wait, there's only two bells." And Sakura was like, "Yep, and we gotta mean that you fail, huh, loser?" And Sasuke was like, "I can't believe you fell for that. What made you think we actually liked you? You're just some random person that's on our team. You're more use. Sakura's more useful than you, and she's not even a Jinchuriki." And Naruto's like, "Well, Kakashi was like, you all pass," but Naruto in his head, all he's hearing is like the mocking and things like that. So Naruto's like, I've tried so hard to give you all the benefit of the doubt, and he reactivates Liday's power, and it kind of looks like this picture with Kurama's chakra at the bottom. And yeah, the only difference is that that green eye is red, and that eye is also red. So yeah, I'm gonna say Lee Day's eye is a little bit more of a darker red. So yeah, and they look over there, and Naruto is like, "I'm done. I'm just so done." And he disappears. And when he reappears, he's sitting outside the village, like he's really far away from the village. And Leade was like, "That's as fast. This is as fast as I've ever seen you move, Naruto." And Kurama was like, "Since you ran away from the village, what are you gonna do about your friends?" And Naruto was like, "If they were my friends, they could find me. Anybody that's willing to follow them to find me is clearly a friend as well. But if they don't try to find me, then there's no point in even attempting. I just need to get stronger. That's all that matters." And this is where I'm gonna end this part off. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, drop a like. If y'all enjoy my content, please subscribe. As I stated before, I'm streaming now. So if you have stayed to the end of the video, watch till the end because well, this is the end. But yeah, I'm streaming now. This video is now public. The pinned comment down below will be the link to the video. Will be a link to the stream. So if you're interested in what I'm playing or whatever when I am streaming, just drop by, say what's up. Yeah, anyway. Peace out.